Hey there, my name is Keliikuli. I am the developer of Somatic Groundwork and the director of interdisciplinary movement and somatics. Somatic Groundwork is a movement system that utilizes developmental processes and patterns in order to create change in a good way for moving and feeling better. Today, the focus is on core-to-distal sequencing and spinal sequencing. And these are two patterns that are fundamental to our human development and are very powerful patterns to return back to at any phase in our life in order to promote moving with better connectivity and organization. I invite you to come down to the floor with me and to begin in constructive rest position. Constructive rest position is a position of lying on your back, standing feet, so knees are bent, and arms at your side in a way that feels good and easy. You can have your eyes open or your eyes closed here. Begin bringing your attention to your feet in contact with the ground. Noticing first your right foot, and then your left. And allowing the weight of your feet to sink down into the ground, with your legs following. And then bringing your attention up to your hips, your low back, your sacrum. Allow your sacrum also to sink. Allow your low back to be heavy. You might imagine a sort of spreading feeling, right to left, up to down, widening your connection with the ground beneath you. And then bringing your attention to your upper back, right scapula, left scapula, right arm, left arm. Noticing the kind of bony contact points that you're making with the ground. And allow those areas to soften and to sink into the ground beneath you. And then bringing attention to where your head is resting on the ground. Allowing your head to sink down as well, as if softening into sand beneath you. Now bringing attention to your breathing, and on your next exhale, allow that exhale to be a little slower and a little softer. And as you exhale, allow your weight to sink through your entire body, feet, spine, arms, head. And taking a few breaths like that, with each exhale, sinking weight down and into the floor. Back to your feet and begin to push the floor away in small pulses. So it's like a push release or a very subtle push pull. And when you find that movement, your body will begin to rock in response. Now, if this movement is new for you, it might feel a little awkward at first, a little bit clunky, but over time, it becomes quite effortless. And you put a little bit of energy into your system, and then like a spring, it continues to do the movement all on its own. And as you have this rocking moving from your feet, through your pelvis, through your spine, and into your head, allow your breath to move, to circulate, softening the areas around your throat and your jaw and your belly. Notice this soft wave moving through your spine. allowing every little part to move in the wave. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take a rest. Notice if there's any impulses for movement. I'm rocking my head. And also pandiculation, which is a spontaneous body on. So when those happen, let them through and then begin rocking again when you're ready. So a few organic intervals like this to open up our practice. Rocking, paying attention to the sensations coming through the rocking movement. See if you can allow this to be soft and fluid-like water. And then pausing when you want to pause. Following any impulses for movement, any moments of unwinding that might come through that your body would like to express. And then back into rocking. And then from here, allowing both your knees to drop to the side. And then draw your legs back to center where they started. And knees drop to the other side. And as you draw back to center, let your tailbone and or your low back be what gathers your legs back up. And then knees drop to the other side. And then some sort of central initiation. Again, tailbone, low back, maybe waistline, sacrum, drawing your legs back up. And as you draw your legs back up, really feel that weaving in, that knitting towards your center body. Deep under your navel, legs drawing in. So they go away with the drop and weave back in. But even as the knees drop, see if you can maintain this kind of tethering or this connectivity between the center body and your knees as they move away, and then as they gather back and your legs come to center. And feel that rolling point of contact through your back body and through your feet. Like a small massage with the floor. And then let your knees come up to center. Then with your arms, reaching your fingers out and away and sliding your arms up. And then letting them softly move over you back to the floor. So essentially big arm circle. See if you can have the arms work together. And as they draw over you, back down to the ground, allowing the elbows to fold gently. So there's a long reach. And then a softening and a folding of the arm as they come over your body. And similarly to the legs, as the arms draw back in, feel how they are moving towards your navel, towards your center, weaving deep within your belly. And even as they reach away, notice that radial connection, moving both away from you and deepening in towards you at the same time. The reaching of the arms, connecting through the shoulder blades, into the torso, into the spine, and down to your center. And then letting the arms lie at your sides. And then from here, letting your knees drop out to the side, legs go long, arms slide up and come to star. And begin rocking your right leg. Rocking your right leg over your heel. And as you rock the right leg, pay attention to how the thigh is rocking within the hip socket. And then draw that connection even further in, deep up into your belly button. So as you're rocking the leg, you have a sense of the leg spoking out from your center. And then letting that leg be quiet, and then move into the other side. Rocking your left leg, rocking over your heel bone, paying attention to your left thigh rocking in the socket. And then see if you can connect that rocking in the thigh socket deep into your center, into your belly. Now bringing your attention to your upper body and reaching your fingertips out and away so that you lengthen through the entire arm and feel the stiffening through the arm. Reaching, feeling your shoulder blades moving out and away from the spine, possibly a bit of expansion happening through your armpits, side body, and chest. And then release and let the arms soften. And again, reaching both arms out and away. And this time as they reach and spoke away, see if you can also draw and knit the arms down and in through your torso, connecting all the way to your navel. And doing that one more time, maybe this time pairing it with your breath. Inhale and reach. Notice the expansion and the knitting in at the same time. And then exhale, softening that effort and coming back to that feeling of sinking into the ground. And now take that spoken quality and move that through your arms again and your legs at the same time. So all four limbs spoking out and away, feeling the stiffening through elbows and knees. And at the same time that everything is reaching out and away, also knit the limbs down and in and through your center. Exhale, everything softens. And doing that a few times, everything spokes away. Fingers, toes, perhaps you might even energize head and tail out and away as well. And as things move away, they also knit in. And now everything spokes away, but instead of an exhale, soften, draw the knees and elbows towards the center. So that place where you were knitting everything in, let the knees and elbows draw into that. And feel the small seed-like shape as your limbs come in. And then with the same rhythm, have fingers and toes, arms and legs move out and away towards star, maintaining that knitting in even as everything moves away. Full spoke, and then knees and elbows draw in. If you'd like, you could bring your head and your tail together in a curling into seed as well. Feeling into the deep seed center, even as you begin to reach everything out and away. So this is primary star seed here, and you could use your breathing here as well to pattern star seed, where the reach out, the spoke out is the breath in. And as everything draws to seed, there's your exhale. And if you do use your breath as a sort of rhythm keeper for the movement, allowing the pulsation of your breath and the pulsation of this movement out and in to work as one. And then the next time you're in star, letting everything soften. Following any impulse for movement that might be here. Any adjustments that you might need to make. Any movements that feel good and organizing. Now coming into the focus of the head-tail limb here, so the spine. And let the head and the tail begin to kind of wag on the floor together. Okay, so there's the sense now kind of the limbs moving from center, especially the arms and the legs. Now letting the spine as a primary limb begin to slide so that head and tail kind of reach for one another to the right, head and tail reach for one another to the left, and let your limbs come along with that motivation of the spine moving back and forth. This can be very small and subtle, or you could explore kind of the full range of motion available to you. Continuing to kind of move with this oscillation of your attention being out on the distal ends and then cycling back in towards your center. So just like your breath circulating, the movement of core-to-distal also encourages us to continue to cycle in to out and out to in. And now the next time you take yourself to one side, let your eyes really start to be a part of this pattern and pause. So I've just moved to the right. I'm in this kind of subtle, like curving towards the right, and my eyes are looking down towards my right foot. And on the next inhale, I'm going to bring that into the movement, initiating to the other side. Exhale, eyes searching for my foot on that side, and to the left. And if you like this use of breath, you can use this back and forth. Inhale, exhale. There's a pause at the end of the exhale. Inhale is the motivation for movement. Exhale is the pause and seed. And right at the end of the exhale here, allow your knees and elbows to be magnetized towards one another. Keep bringing the head and tail together and see how you might fold to a side seed. And then to return back, let your fingers and toes initiate the reach back out into space. Still paying attention to their connecting in, even as you move out. Other side, eyes move to your foot, head and tail keep closing in, and knees and elbows come into. And when you're ready to come out of that side seed, fingers and toes move out into space. So again, you can pattern this movement along with your breathing, the inhale and exhale cycles if that's supportive. If that doesn't feel supportive, then don't do that. Move as you'd like to move. And in that case, just check in that your breath is circulating, that it's moving underneath you and you're not holding your breath. So this is primary star to seed, moving to the side. So coming to side seed. And there's kind of a wholeness as you're moving together when using core-to-distal sequencing. Trying to kind of like work the rhythm of all the limbs. They're working together. So as you're drawing into the side, the knees and elbows, fingers and toes, head and tail are all closing in at the same time. And then as you're moving away back out to star, they're also working together. Now you could add back in the star seed from the back as well. So when you come to the center, adding in your seed position here, back out to star, then moving to a side seed. Now there's also a way to get into belly star. So if I go to the side, and then from here, reach my fingers and toes out and away, but move to belly instead, everything expanding. And then find myself here, belly star. And then pulling knees and elbows in toward one another, head and tail in towards one another through your front body. And then you're back to side seed. I'm going to do that on the other side. So I'm going to my left. Eyes are very helpful here. So as I reach out to go to belly star, my eyes are looking towards my hands. And I take a rest. And then drawing head and tail, elbows and knees in together. And then back to back star. Now there's also side star. So I can come in to side seed. And from side seed here, I'm going to bring my attention right into my navel, right into my deep center. Okay, and I feel into my center as being inside me, kind of behind and drop down behind my navel. From here, I'm going to reach head and tail out, fingers and toes out, sliding along the floor. You could have your head up off the floor. You could keep your head on the floor. And reaching fingers and toes away. And there's side star. And then drawing deep into your center to initiate the closing in. Head and tail organize around that. Elbows and knees draw in, fingers and toes. And back to side seed. And then back to back star. And doing that on the other side. Everything comes into side seed. Then everything grows out from center together, reaching into space, allowing space to be a helpful support, hanging in geometry. And then drawing in. And then finding your way back to back star. So you could create your own rhythm here in terms of your star seed here with this basic core-to-distal sequencing, going to the side seed, side star, back to back, other side, then roll to your belly, right? So you could do some kind of phrasing here where you could move through those. For now, coming into back star and taking a moment of integration. So next, come back to constructive rest position. And take arms up overhead so that they're in that high Y position. And allow knees to drop to the side and elbows come in as well. This is a gentle rolling to the side. And then bring legs and arms back where they were. So notice the spinal motion here and the core-to-distal sequencing here in this new position now from constructive rest. And how the legs and arms fold in. And then that subtle reach away that they have, again, in rhythmic timing. Now, the next time you go to your side, instead of going to your back, go to your belly and let your eyes move out towards your fingers. Think about your elbows and your knees staying in contact with the floor. So they're both bent. So my forearms and lower legs, right, they're kind of floating in space. And then I'm going to go back the same way I came, moving elbows and knees back together. Head, tail, and then coming to the back again. And then go back to the same direction. So knees and elbows coming together. And then from here, I'm really going to light up the head, tail limb. Start taking my eyes out towards my hands and then rolling right over my belly. I'm going to keep going that same direction this time, folding in to my back, opening out. And I'm going to go the other direction. Knees and elbows, head, tail in, head, tail out, knees and elbows out, everything coming in. Doing that a few more times to each direction. Feeling the soft wave-like motion of this roll. And then after your current roll, coming to your back. Taking a moment of pause. And allowing some organic movements now to come through and to kind of move out of the specificity. And allow yourself to keep instead with the quality of the soft body rolling and the use of limbs and how they can move in and move out. But now allowing your body to choose creatively those configurations. So staying with the pulsation idea, the out and in, and the soft body rolling through the various surfaces. And following just the moment unfolding. It's a way to improvise on the theme. You're opening up differentiation of limbs now and exploring the quality of movement with the ground and this primal pulsation of out and in. Allowing your eyes to be open, to be like another limb in space. Check that your breathing is circulating, moving in and out. Finding the just right rhythm for you. And then when that phrase of movement feels complete, allow yourself to come back to an easy place of rest in whatever posture that is. And from this place now, take a final few minutes to allow your eyes to close. Allow yourself to return back to where we began, which is with yielding into the floor, noticing the places where you're in contact with the ground, feeling into the global sensations of you right now. And then allowing your mind to open up into a more general awareness, taking in a little bit of everything, but mostly just resting into this moment. And tuning with this basic circulation that's always here, this endless cyclic flow, the in and the out, the expansion and the contraction, the moving away and the coming back toward, the spoking away from and the knitting into. And feel into the softness of that middle place. And may this softness be like a magic jewel in your pocket for the rest of the day. Thanks for joining me.